come to order.
Yes.
The roll call. Eddie Prairie, Roach. Linda
Here.
Jones, Rena Richards,
Yep, here.
myself, Mildred Moore and Gallione. Judy McGee.
Yep.
Richard Kennedy. We're all present. All present. Rena, would you read the minutes, please?
Sure. This is a board meeting for September 14th, 2016. The meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. Present were the people on this group. Approval of the minutes of June 6, 2016. Judy McGee read aloud the minutes, and they were as presented. Okay, Linda Jones made a motion to accept the minutes of June 2016. I seconded the motion, and the board voted unanimously, and it was passed. The accounts receivable report. Judy McGee made a motion to accept the accounts payable report as of June 9th through September 14th as presented. Linda Jones seconded the motion. The board voted unanimously. All were in favor, and it passed. In the regular business meetings, we addressed vacancies. As of this meeting, there were still 2 vacancies. Betty was updating the waiting list with the existing applications on file. Many of the applications have been returned to sender, indicating that the applicant is no longer at the address on file. It is hopeful to have the units filled soon. To the item of toilet replacements, the board was informed that the bid for the replacement for the toilets has been completed. The references for the lowest bidder are being checked, and if all goes well, they will be awarded the job. Community room and ramp, ADA community room improvements and outdoor ramp project is ready to go out to bid. The project will be placed on bid docs online. Rena Richard has received confirmation from Frank Iniello to serve on the grievance panel. Vinnie Mancini, CRTA member, will call members to see what the next step is. Eileen Tite and daughter Brandy Capistran addressed the board concerning the delay of the replacement of the stove in Unit A2. Pam Goodwin addressed the board concerning clarification of the grounds policy, discussion of possibly revisiting the previous policy drawn up concerning the grounds. CRTA elections were held recently. John Squadrille, is that the way it's pronounced? Is now the president. Evelyn Squadrille is vice president secretary, and Vinnie Mancini is the treasurer. Linda Jones made a motion to close the meeting. Richard Kennedy seconded. Meeting was adjourned at 7:15. The next board meeting is October 12th, 2016. Respectfully submitted, Betty Roach.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded that we accept the September meeting minutes as read. All those approved?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay. Let's go to accounts payable.
We just looked at them, so I moved that we accept them
Yeah.
because we just looked at them.
Yeah. Someone would like to make a motion that we accept accounts payable?
So moved.
Okay, second the motion, please.
Second motion.
Okay. The motion has been made and seconded that we approve the accounts as payable. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Regular business meeting. So, we are going to vote for a chairman. So,
I nominate Nellie.
I second second nomination.
Any other,
seconded?
any
She
other
just did.
nominations? Any other nominations?
Oh, excuse me.
No? Seeing no other nominations?
You're it.
Congratulations, Mike.
No, we need to say all those in favor.
Aye.
All those opposed? Then I guess I'm, thank you. All righty. So this, we have to discuss the, discussion of the grievance panel.
Yes.
Okay.
Karen Ollis got in touch with me last week, and she was, well, I was talking with Lisa also
Tell
about
me who Karen Ollis is.
Karen Ollis was our attorney.
Okay, all
I
right.
was also speaking with Lisa about last week, and about the difficulty that we've been having to try to get enough people on the panel.
Right.
Karen was telling me that whereas we were looking for a 3-person panel, that really means 6 people. I was thinking it was two, and 1 in the middle. So she said, really, we need to find 2 more people, because each person on the panel needs to have the alternate. So she had suggested that because of the difficulty in trying to get a panel together, and that a lot of the housing authorities that she handles, they have a single hearing officer. And that when it gets to this point here where we just can't get one together, that's usually what happens. So she had asked for John to come in and sat down with us and explained the whole thing, and asked for him to call a meeting and explain it to the residents that this is where we're at with this, and that this is the best option, and that she has that from a lot of other housing authorities, and it works out really well. She said because a lot of times it's hard to try to get everybody together on the same page and to actually come in at the same time together. I mean, I work till 2. I'm not going to be here at night to hear people's grievances or on the weekends or on my days off either. So she said it would really be to our benefit to have it be a single hearing officer. And so John was going to have the meeting yesterday and try and explain that to them, and then maybe John might like to
Okay.
let me know what happens.
Before John, could I have
Sure.
a minute? You had spoken in the minutes about me trying to find out about the grievance panel.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Betty doesn't have to be here during any grievance hearing. She's not allowed actually to be
That's
there
right.
during the grievance panel. And I spoke with one of the members, I don't want to mention it right now, but I spoke with one of the members of the grievance panel. There are 3 members, Donna Desjardins, Steve Minichello, and the chairperson of that group is Frank.
Mm-hmm.
They've already met twice and discussed, how they're going to work the grievance panel amongst themselves.
Mhm.
They are ready to go at any moment. So,
We need 6.
Yeah, we need
What's-
6.
We
We
did
need
not.
6.
no,
We do not.
we don't need 6.
This is what the attorney is saying, that we need.
The
Yeah.
attorney
The
does
attorney
not
is wrong.
decide.
You
The-
need 3, you need 3 alternates. So
No,
for
you
every,
only, you
It's the
only need,
regulations we care about.
Wait,
the
wait,
gre-
wait.
the-
Just a minute.
whoa, go
So
ahead, Benny.
Karen says,
Karen's
I'm
the
trying to
attorney
understand
for
this.
the housing authority.
Karen?
She manages,
And
she
she's-
covers a lot of housing authorities in this state. She's been working for DHCD for 22 years, so I think that she understands the regulations. I mean, in order
Okay.
for her to go to court and stuff with tenants as she does, she would have to know what the regulations are. She also gave us a copy, I'm not too sure if I have it in there, I think I did get here, explaining that when there is a problem trying to get a panel together, this is what is suggested.
okay.
So that could be right.
Do they have this information? All right.
I don't know, they might,
This
this
is
is
all
what
in
Karen
draft,
has
so.
given to me. I highlighted the part, or Karen, Ashley Karen, the part,
Okay.
that's to where it would be a single
Okay.
hearing
The
office.
LHA may request that the department permit it to implement the grievance procedure set out, set out in Appendix B, which provides for a single hearing officer. Okay, John, who is, you're taking care, you're handling the grievance issue?
Well, the CITA is.
Okay. And what was the reaction when,
You had to vote on it.
Well, we had a vote yesterday, and
and,
a good 18 people showed up. I think 2 people wanted 1, and everybody else wanted 3.
But we,
Okay, so
you know, there's, the discretion, as we understand it with the state regulations, lies within the CITA and with the Upton Housing Authority in terms of a 3-member panel.
okay,
Now, I don't exactly know what Betty's talking about with 1 person, but
That's why maybe John could explain, because the meeting was between John, myself, and the attorney.
I did explain it yesterday.
Right, but maybe you could explain to the board, because they are not aware of what happened at the meeting yesterday, or the meeting that was held with Karen and you.
just a moment, Pam, let's let John.
Fine.
Yeah.
Basically, I called in the meeting, it was posted, so a lot of people showed up, and I basically explained exactly what Betty says. If, you know, ideally if the people like drop out, or if people with grievance reach out to a grievance panel, it doesn't help the situation. So we're trying to maybe get one person to represent, you know, the panel, but that it would still have to be approved by Boston. And then people were going up about grievances, and I said, well, this is for just voting. All right, we're just gonna vote for 1, or we're gonna vote for 3. And then the show of hands, they say they wanted 3. That was overwhelming. Only 2 people voted for 1. So basically, that's what it is. You know, we've tried very hard, and I know they need backup, alternate. I know that. That's
We all-
you know, a lot of the state regs, a lot of the grievance, it has 8 pages, and you can have different
Wow.
interpretation, because I've seen different grievance.
I agree, I read
There's
it too.
Appendix B, there's Appendix A,
Have you-
so it is confusing. So basically, what we would like to have is Bill McKinney from Mendon has an alternate, and we will still need 1. But there's issues where well,
You need
Mhm.
if you have an informal meeting with the lawyer and the housing, right, and they sign off on it, meaning they're agreeing on whatever was discussed, whatever the issue is with the grievance. Once you sign off on it, there's no grievance, all right, and that's basically that first grievance that we've been talking for 10 months. The other grievance are just hearsay, because yesterday basically people who had grievance didn't really have a legitimate grievance. I read
So,
From
the one grievance that let me understand what you
Yeah,
just
that's
said.
fine. Uh-huh.
The one grievance that that's been boiling for now for however long,
Mhm.
has been settled?
No, it has not.
Okay, listen, all right? Please, just let me read this, okay? And let me just read this, all right? Because nobody knows. They don't know, nobody knows.
I'm gonna go next, John.
All right, this is from Informal Settlement Conference. If the grievance is resolved at the Informal Settlement Conference, the local housing authority and grievance shall acknowledge the term of the resolution in writing.
Has that been done?
Yes, it has.
No, it has not.
The
You,
attorney.
you sign on it. If the grievance is
Betty,
resolved at the
was-
informal
hold on,
at the
hold on.
thing.
Wait a minute.
then was there an
It
agreement
was in a
signed?
formal conference, the attorney and myself and Pamela, and she signed it.
Do you have that copy?
The attorney
Does
has
Pam-
it. The attorney has it.
Does Pamela have a copy of
Would I
the
like to
agreement?
respond, please?
I'm not
Well,
gonna-
wait a minute,
Wait,
just let's
finish.
just finish what we're talking about here. If the grievance
The
is
attorney.
resolved at the informal settlement conference, no grievance hearing shall be held. So that's what you're basically saying, John, that this thing has been,
settled.
Yeah,
at least in
Yeah.
your mind, has been settled, and
Yeah.
that no,
there's no grievance.
okay. All right, Pam, you're on.
Thank you. I'm looking at C760CMR6. It's my copy given at the grievance training that Judith McGee attended.
What are you looking?
Appendix A.
Well, it's not here, okay?
And
I've got
there's
it
an
right here.
appendix B, and at the training that was held here in this room with Judith McGee present and Denise present, it was decided that a single hearing officer would not be the best way to go, that it would be appendix A, the 3-member panel, all right? Also, on this thing that
Okay, where are you in that document?
okay, this one here, grievance procedures, 6.08. It
Well, I
talks
don't think I've got that. Okay, have you got that?
occupancy standards and tenant participation for state-aided housing, that's us. It has lease, it has rent determination, it has pet ownership, and it has grievance.
Oh, you're in the state regs, okay. This is just the, all I have.
Do you have this?
No, I don't have that with me. These are the grievance procedures that,
Okay, that's the other thing.
right,
I just wanted to focus on this.
okay. On the state
I didn't
regulations,
have
right,
that
Pam?
This is the state regulations.
Just that one.
Okay, so, and it says,
So there's section 6.08, grievance procedures.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yes,
state
that's the information.
regulations.
The state regulations. I pulled this out for the Karen Allers, the attorney, during the informal conference.
Now I have it signed off, us saying that we can have.
I'm still
this
talking,
involvement
Betty.
she
It's
is
showing
she's just showing me what you're talking about.
Vivian
Okay?
is supposed to be talking.
Okay, now, go ahead.
So when you look at the state regs at 6.08, it talks about grievance, it decides a whole lot of things, it goes on for a number of pages. The hearing date, the pre-examination, and that ends on page 31, starts on page 27. At the training, which was held on May 5th in this room, as I said, Denise came, I came, Judith McGee was the only board member that came, and Margarita did, I think, a 2-hour training from like 4 to about 5:30 or 6. She went over the whole thing, and she said, of course you would want 3-member panel, and so that's what I'm expecting. When I came to the informal conference, which is an option, it doesn't prevent you from grieving anything, you're invited to do it. I did it in the presence of my crisis worker, and she came with me. So she was there, Betty was there, her attorney was there, and I was present. I agreed to that because I had my crisis worker with me. Based on what they said to me at that and the demands that were made, I signed under duress. The very next day, Margarita Morales from Mass Union Public and my crisis worker said, of course you're going to have to start all over with a brand new grievance. All right? So we started a brand new grievance, and this other one was promised, as you said, in almost a year's time. So I'm just going to tell everybody. At the informal conference, I was threatened about why I bought a car. I was threatened about going into court. I was threatened, I kept saying, what's the or else? And
We need to know
I
that.
think you should know this. So that was the informal conference.
We need to know, we don't need to know any of your personal information.
You're asking me whether I want a single officer or 3 panel? The answer is what he said, the group voted for 3 members. And I thought it was happening soon because it was promised in writing by this woman in November.
Don't blame her, okay?
Hold on a
There
second.
are 3 members that have, there is a 3-member group. They
Right,
have met a couple of times.
exactly.
Now, the question that seems to be going on here is whether it's 1 or whether it's 3.
Can I approach the,
Sure, of course you can approach it.
I don't know if you have this form here. This is,
Yes, I do have that.
okay. And on, first of all, you have Donna Desjardins, the
Yes.
Upland Housing Authority,
Yes,
put
she's,
in for the 3-member
Yeah,
panel
yeah,
at the beginning,
yes.
okay? If you read on page 5, Part D, talks about a three-member panel,
Well, I guess maybe I don't have that.
okay? If you look, if you want to read that yourself.
Okay, it
I
says,
don't have-
all grievance hearings and determinations of a matter subject to this grievance procedure shall be by a three-member hearing panel,
But they
Except
all need to
otherwise
have an
provided.
except as
No,
otherwise
no.
provided herein. One member and an alternate member to serve in the event of the member's unavailability for a hearing.
In the event that a member is unavailable.
exactly.
Not that you need somebody.
That's true.
Okay.
Shall be chosen by, that's what this says anyway.
Yes.
Shall be chosen by the local housing authority, and one member shall be chosen by the affected local tenants association, we've done that. And then the third member
Is a mutual.
shall be chosen by agreement, and we did that.
We've done that.
Okay. The third member, including the alternate member, shall not be a board member of the housing authority or an officer of the LTO, which is
Or
fine.
CITA.
Whenever a member is chosen, notice of the choice shall be given to the member and shall specify the term not to exceed 7 years for which the member so chosen shall serve. A copy of the notice shall be given to the local housing authority or to the LTO, depending upon who made the choice, okay? Each member so chosen shall mail or deliver his or her written acceptance to the LHA promptly after being chosen. Okay, we've got all that.
We do.
Okay, you know what, I think is the best thing if we have Karen Allers come in next month and sit down with us and explain the whole thing. Because where there's conflicting information
And
here,
that's-
we're being told, and I think that's the best thing, because Karen has specifically told John and I last week that a three-member panel is 6 people. If you have a
Because you-
five-member panel,
because
it's
you
because
have
each
If
person,
you-
we might have 3 people now, but we need an alternate for each one of them. And
She
we
just
do
read
not,
what it says about the alternate.
Right,
In
but
the event
That
that
person
you
can't be
need
there.
someone
right,
else.
But you
but
have
she
to
said
have
it
that
has to
person.
have, in order to have it be established, and for me to send this into Boston and then to sign off on that we actually have a grievance panel here, we have to have 6
6 members.
people if we're gonna go with a 3-member panel. We can't just
And it's not 6, it's only 5 because the
But this
chairperson
is what Lisa
that they have
Taylor
already nominated.
and
Makes sense.
Lisa Taylor I spoke with today on it, and Karen Ellis, and she explained it to John the other day. So I think that's gonna be the best bet, because when we had the meeting with Karen the other day, she said that if the single hearing officer did not get passed, correct me if I'm wrong, John, that we can keep doing what we've been doing for the past year, and we're gonna end up in the same position. And in 2 months from now, she is going to be requesting from DHCD permission for us to have a single hearing officer, because all this time has passed and we have not been able to put a panel
Yeah.
together. Is that what she
If
said,
you go-
John, is that what she said?
Yeah,
Okay.
If you go back
So I
Well-
think that
But
that's
I-
probably
I'm-
our best bet, was
Wait a minute.
having Karen come
One-
in here.
Okay.
I'm saying, basically we need is one more backup. We have Bill McKinney from Mendon. He works
So
for
you need
affordable
so
housing.
It
He's,
was,
he's looking really forward to help out too, so, but we still need one.
That means 4. We
Two.
have 4, we have 2 and they have 2.
yeah.
So we need 2 more.
We need two
2
more.
more alternates.
Now, McHenry was the housing authority's backup, correct?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, no, the CRTA.
he was
Yeah,
CRTA.
excuse me, yes.
Pamela, let's,
Hold on, John, 1 second.
In consideration of the public access, what does it take to be a member? What criteria do you have to satisfy to be appointed or elected as a member?
Well, the CITA chooses a member, the Upton Housing Authority chooses a member, and then both the CITA and the Upton Housing Authority choose a mutual member to be the third person.
Right.
Now, that's all we need. From everything that I know, with the state regulations, all we need is a 3-member panel. And as
Rita,
Rita just read, unless there is a need for alternates, all we need is a 3-member panel. So,
no,
and the
your
reason,
question, excuse me, I
Yep.
think his question was what qualifications?
do they
and I just said, the CITA chooses a member, The Upton Housing Authority,
No, he's saying, he's asking what are
Do
the
they have to, for
qualifications of the
example-
members, okay? Let me tell you, one of them is a real estate agent, okay?
Yeah,
One of them is an architect.
okay.
One of them is a video producer,
Amazing.
okay? And the other one, I don't know Mr. McHenry at all.
I don't either, I don't know.
I don't know who he is.
So there's no special requirement?
No, it's
You,
a,
no,
You would
it's
be willing to serve in the
yes,
position?
exactly. You know, it's like
Willing
anybody
to
who runs
serve.
for office.
willing to serve is, you know, and as long as the Upton Housing Authority and the tenants agree that, that's,
On the person.
that's the only requirement.
Does it have to be a citizen of town?
Does it have to be a what?
Citizen of Upton?
No.
No.
So anybody that's willing,
That's right.
able to get here can serve?
Correct.
And it's somebody who doesn't know the tenants.
Not
Some of them,
Well, that's
Yeah,
not
it's not
true. I go to
friends
the
or
men's
tenants.
supper. I go to the men's supper, so that's.
they
not-
may know them, but they're not supposed to have interaction
Yeah,
with any of the
I
grievance
totally
procedures.
Nepotism would be excluded, I understand. that.
Well, we would hope so, but you never know.
All right,
I really think that's the best solution to have next month.
what does it take to get appointed? Or
What's-
do you have to have an election, or is this just an appointment from who?
Again, the CITA chooses a member,
Okay,
the Upton Housing chooses a member, and the Upton Housing Authority with the CITA chooses a third member.
okay, and we need 2 members at this point?
No,
At least one
One
more.
no, we have
Alternate.
a 3-member panel.
And you need one?
The alternates are only needed
Yeah,
if there is a need for an alternate to be present.
so,
Actually, the decision makers are 3 people,
Right.
okay?
But
The
we need
real
the
board
alternates.
is 3 people, and that's
Right.
Frank and Donna and Steve Keller, okay? The others are, McHenry is an alternate
For us,
for you.
Oh, sorry.
now, do they attend all meetings, or do
they've only, this has
they
been
operate
going,
on call?
They have just organized,
Yeah.
okay? So they've had 2 meetings, to my understanding.
that's correct.
They meet among themselves.
All right, but
We do not meet with them.
do the alternates participate in all meetings, or only in backup when somebody else isn't available?
That was
Ah.
back up.
When someone's not available.
They
The
only
alternate.
have to meet if the 3-member panel can't meet.
Okay,
That's what
I got it.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
you.
I really can't make it.
All right.
I'd just like to have one comment.
So, and this has been going on for about a year, trying to get this panel.
And I want to say too, that if you go back and look at the video, several times, our former secretary, vice president, anyway, Maggie Ullman had said, "It's my fault this is taking so long." It's never supposed to take a year to form a grievance panel. It has nothing to do with an association, it's a state regulation. And so it's unheard of that it would take a year to get this moving. And to move this slowly again and have Betty wait until another month and have the attorney come in is just dragging it out even further. I want to say one last thing. Karen Allers gets $40,000-$50,000 a year from DHCD, and it's her job, and the rest of us are at everyone's mercy here. We're trying to follow the state laws. It does not say 6 people in the state laws I'm looking at, or the laws that, when I'm listening to Margarita Morales. I don't see anything about a 6. So I just wanted to make that go on the record.
So should we find someone interested in the position, who's going to make the appointment?
Well, it's a question, they fill out a form
Yeah,
that indicate that they are willing to serve on the
Okay.
grievance panel, and it goes to Betty,
okay.
okay? The others have filled out those forms, and she has copies of them,
Okay,
okay?
so in the end, once the forms have been reviewed, is it the housing authority, the committee, or the CRTA, or whatever it is, that makes the appointment?
It's
Whose appointment is it, I guess is what I'm asking.
the CRT.
Well, I guess I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh,
You need a 6,
We
one more
need
member.
one more member.
Who decides to accept or reject that person.
Your premise is wrong to begin with. We don't need another member.
They
In
should
case,
know. I understand what you're saying.
right, in case we need an alternate, then we need to choose a member. We have ours, we've had ours on board for quite a while.
In an effort to move this thing forward,
Sure.
I'm going to try to recruit someone who will play
That would
backup.
Okay,
And
great.
I need to know who it is that will make the decision to appoint that backup to.
Well, it depends.
We have ours, it's up to the Upton Housing Authority to decide an alternate.
One person at a time here.
So, for the member that's missing, the appointment will be made by,
By whoever, okay. It
Right.
depends upon, we have, Frank Iannello is ours,
Yeah.
as is Donna Desjardins, okay?
Yeah.
She was really appointed as an alternate, but I think, given the fact that, and you know
Somebody-
Donna, is
Yeah.
very
Backed
well, okay. Steve Minichello was recommended by you guys.
Correct.
Right, okay,
We agreed about Frank
okay,
being
Yeah.
a mutual
right,
member,
right.
and you folks picked on it,
Right.
not on
Right.
her.
So, it's the question right now is, can we find other people to back them up, if
Okay.
you will? Which is really what an alternate is. I mean,
Right, exactly.
now, they don't necessarily hold meetings unless there's a grievance.
right.
There's really no reason for them to just get
So,
together and.
It may
and
never
shoot
be a
the
meeting
fact,
with
right?
Donna. You guys
Well,
work
they did
good.
get together twice to go over grievance procedures.
And they also wanted to appoint,
A
A
chairperson,
chairperson.
which they did, and Frank is the chairperson.
yes.
So,
correct.
but again, I just want to reiterate, and, we don't need the other members of the panel unless needed,
Okay,
okay? We already have one on our side.
we get one.
Right.
And then we have a mutual, so,
Well, Frank should always be the chairperson.
yes.
There's only five that, the number 6 is getting thrown out, but it's only really 5.
Yeah, it is only 5.
Are they approved by the state?
The whole thing has to
The
be.
whole thing has to be approved by the state, so I could submit 3 people and it's gonna come back on me. It's
If
gonna
you
come back and
submit
it's not
just
approved.
3 people,
It
it
will
will come back
it will
on
come
you
back.
because you need
The 6
It
people.
doesn't have to be approved by the state.
5. They said 5, he said 5, I'm saying 5, and the 6th is coming out of her attorney apparently.
Yes.
Well, anyhow, we're at a standstill now because you can't submit,
Some, 3
No.
people, that's
you
what I'm
have
trying
to
to say.
say.
That's,
That's why it will be best if we can have.
To be
the-
approved by the
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we've been doing this for a year now.
Right.
No,
If-
yeah.
if
We
people-
want to have
people-
this panel.
One more alternate.
Yeah,
Well,
All right,
Okay,
excuse me.
John,
let
I-
John
I'm-
have
I'm-
the floor.
I'm trying to respect you, and I know the housing has really nothing to do with this. I mean, you don't
Right.
hear these things, all right? But hear me out. Bill McKinney from Mendon, he works for assisted living or something, he assisted housing or whatever. He's a good man that's really looking forward to participate. However, he was reached out by one of the tenants, all right? And that kind of nulls it out. Whether it was 9 months ago, still since then, she reached out to him by phone and he's neglecting her phone. So that kind of annuls him for the hearing. All right, I mean, I made it clear yesterday,
tenants
and I'm
do that.
sorry, but that's a fact. And when I'm talking about the informal meeting, I know what I'm talking about. I'm spending a lot of time reading this rule.
yeah,
She signed something under duress with her assistant with her? Please, I mean, I'm very sorry, but let's go on with the next
It's
thing,
none of your
all right?
business, none of your business.
Next, go on
Not
with the
grievance.
next thing. I don't want to talk about grievance. I want to talk about our agenda.
well,
Okay. So we're dropping
I guess my question,
grievance now.
No,
no, I
No.
don't think we can. I think we've got to, there's got to be some
Resolution.
resolution here. We've been
Yes.
going through this now for month after month after month after
Right.
month.
about a
There
year.
has to be a resolution.
And I just want to say that last month, John stood here and said, there's other grievances. There's another one, there's at least 2 or 3 maybe maintenance grievances. So it's not just Pamela here that has a grievance.
Well,
And he sat here last month and said there'll be more grievances.
Well,
And in your minutes, you never mentioned the stove. You just said there were 2 people talking.
I did say there was,
Yes, we did.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're not talking about last month's meeting right now.
The-
We're talking about the grievance. So let's stick to the grievance.
Right.
Yes.
Last question. Do we need 1 or 2 people to make this panel happy?
One.
Two.
We need 2 people.
Yes.
Like,
We,
Go ahead, Vinnie, tell him again.
no, I showed you, you
No, no,
read
no, I
that.
understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, she's saying that we need 2 more to satisfy the state.
Do you have
And
the
that was the
state
question.
regulations there? Pam?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I don't care about what the state requires.
Okay.
They want 2 people.
No.
If we get 2 people, we can move forward.
But that's not how things work. It's according to the state regulations.
I know.
Because the Upton Housing Authority says they want to do something, doesn't mean that's how you have to
I
do it.
understand that.
We're going according to the state regulations, which we've tried for over a year to get this 3-member panel going,
I'm trying to
okay?
get you moving forward.
I understand.
Also, 2 people in
We're
agreement
all
to move
set
forward.
with our alternate. We only, the number 6 is wrong. We only need 5, okay? 1 alternate from both the Upton Housing Authority and 1 from the CRTA. The chairperson stays as the chairperson, okay?
That's what I said.
Well, she should have been here.
Well, we had the meeting, she wanted John to explain the stuff. to her yesterday. We had the meeting, but this whole fall-
Yeah, so
I don't know where we go from here.
neither do I.
I can give her a call on Friday when I'm in and see if she'll be willing to sit down with you guys and explain to you what she's been saying to me. If that would be better, maybe next week, we can try and set something up next week where she comes in and talks to you. I mean,
Is that called an emergency
Hold
board
on,
meeting?
hold on.
I
No,
didn't say
no,
it was
no.
a-
Well, it would have to be the
Something.
emergency board meeting. We could do it, all of us, none of us, you work, but the rest of us do not, so,
Yeah.
except that my calendar looks like.
Unless it- everything but not.
I know Mondays aren't good for her, she's on court a lot. See when she tries to or something, she references Fridays or something.
Well, I
But she
think,
explained to John that if we did not go with a single hearing officer, that we were gonna be doing like what we're doing now for the next couple of months. And she eventually was gonna be writing into Boston, saying that we still have been unable to get a panel together. And request that they would give us, would say that it was with a single hearing officer, and that we would end up that way anyway.
Can I ask you something?
It's not gonna end up
Just go
that
to
way.
court.
That is
Wait,
what
wait,
We
wait.
are a,
Vinnie, I just want to say something. Say we already have 3 people, right? We can keep those 3 people, is that correct?
Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
need 3 more people, we need 6 altogether.
I'm gonna go to
no,
court.
we don't.
well,
Excuse me,
Vinnie,
wait a
I-
minute.
You only need
We can
5.
keep those 3 people. Say we have a,
We actually have 4, so we need 2
oh,
more.
all right, so we have 4. So we keep those people. Say one of them could be the hearing officer. One of those people. Could one of those people be the hearing officer?
well, yes, of course. But the
Yeah.
problem is that,
If the
Problem is
board,
I need
if
to send you to
CRTA
Boston. They want-
approved one person.
what they're
on-
saying, they don't
Correct.
want
We
one
don't
person,
want
they
a one
want-
person.
They had a vote, and it was 2 to whatever,
Oh, all right.
16,
Right.
that they don't want 1 person, they want 3
3
people.
people.
Okay?
The way that Karen had suggested it was that she said she's attorney for the housing authorities, 22 years.
Yeah,
I understand.
She handles a lot of housing authorities.
yeah.
It works out very well, she said, with a single hearing officer. She said you can have 5 people on the list as potential.
That's what I mean,
Right.
yeah.
So say for instance, I'll use you guys, I might call you up and say, I have a grievance here with Joe Schmo at the can you come in tomorrow? You say you can't, you have to work. I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna go down to the next person on my list. I'll call you. Can you come in? You can come in, you can hear, okay. Next week I have another grievance. I'm gonna call this one here, see? So you can have a lot of people on the list for a single hearing
I know.
officer, but you only need one person to sit and listen to the grievance. She
So
said
you
what
could have-
happens a lot of times too is that with a 3-panel or a 5-panel, if you have a 3-panel hearing, a 3-panel grievance panel, you're gonna need 6 people altogether. But you're gonna need 3 people willing to come in at the same time to listen to the grievance.
I
And
know.
a lot of times, she said that causes a problem, because they're not always able
3
to come
people
in the same
can't come in
time.
at the same
And
time.
like I said, I'm not coming in at nighttime to do this.
Well, you won't need to.
Correct.
But if
Correct.
Correct.
somebody, but
She
if
does
it
not
has
need
to do
to
with
be
somebody's
present
rent,
at a grievance
if it
hearing.
has something to do with somebody's rent.
Well, that's not a grievance, in my.
well,
Yes.
in
It's not,
Kingston,
it's not this
that's-
kind of a grievance.
It is.
That's what it is. So,
That was one of Pamela's.
right, so I am
22
going to need to be
grievances.
present for that, because
You can't just.
people can't just have somebody's
I
information
know, well,
about
that,
their rent.
I mean, I would think
So,
that that
of
would be,
course I'm gonna have to be present, of
No.
course,
okay.
okay? So,
Well,
Incorrect.
I know, she's right, I mean, this is privacy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It is
okay?
private though,
Right.
so we don't have anything to do with the,
right, we have to present
Right.
it.
Peter,
we don't have
do
any,
you have a
we're
copy
not
of the
allowed
state
to know that.
regulations?
Vinnie, do you work for the state?
Do you have a copy of the
So
state
you're a tenant
regulations?
here, you don't work for them. I know what I'm being told.
I've got this
You
thing,
can be told anything, but it's
But you,
vetted.
you're a resident here,
Yes,
okay?
I
All right,
am.
I am trying
And I'm
to
a
do
board
my.
member of the
Right,
CITA,
right, it's
which,
an association.
according
of
to
bunch
the
of
state regulations, we have input
Let me-
into
let me
all
see-
these decisions
let
that
me
are
see
being
what they-
made.
Right,
I've
okay, your rent.
I've got,
The whole lease is according to what
I've
the
got,
residents.
I've got this stuff that was part of the,
I don't think you have this.
But
These-
we're not allowed to go on
Yeah, of course not.
personal information. We are not
It's,
allowed.
no, there's no personal information. This is these are the regulations. We will make a copy for you, Rita, of the state regulations if you would like.
Well, if you're gonna make it for her, you're gonna make
no,
it
you
for
should
us.
make it
Well,
for
I mean, that's something that should have been provided to UHA a long time ago.
The attorney has.
So-
And I'm sorry, to interrupt, but that may just change because this Saturday I'm going to the convention in
There will
Norfolk.
be s-
And
no,
there's
don't
there's
confuse
new
it.
state
It
regulation
might be,
coming out.
it might
Okay.
be,
So when I come back Saturday, I'm gonna have 3 copies for my,
John, there might be-
there might
be
be
some-
copy for everybody to read over here.
But John,
I don't think it's gonna be that much change, but there are gonna be changes.
Okay,
I'm just saying, the state regs today may not be the same next week.
that's true.
that's.
no.
But I mean,
Basically, they're gonna.
Some will be edited, something will be edited, I'm
Now-
guaranteed it.
Pamela alluded to other grievances.
Yes, and we haven't even discussed that yet.
Well,
To
you know,
verify,
Are they grievances or are they policy changes?
we haven't discussed that with her yet, but this is something where the UHA and the CRTA should be working in conjunction to determine these things. And as you know, and as the board knows, the CRTA and you folks, we have never met
No,
to discuss any of these issues. So, I mean, that's where it gets tricky.
okay.
that's exactly right. That's where it gets tricky because we're not allowed to know what the grievance is. That's where
The
the,
procedures,
the grievance panel comes in. So we really don't have anything to do with it.
it's the process of how it's gonna work that you need the housing authority and the CRTA to work together.
Well,
It's the process,
So what you're
not
really-
necessarily the details.
you're talking about this piece right here, the memorandum of understanding.
Well, that's a whole separate issue, Rita, but it's part of it too. I mean, it gets complicated,
It is
but for
very
29 years, nobody did anything here. We're trying to do this now.
Excuse me, that's because everything was handled in the office and it was handled properly.
Like I said, for 29
29
years,
we didn't
they
need an
didn't have a
association.
CRTA.
No,
And
this,
according to the state laws, we are entitled to that
Yeah,
We're
we're trying
entitled
to.
to it.
as
We don't have
tenants.
a problem
And
We
with
don't
we-
have a problem with that.
Okay,
We don't have a problem.
okay.
And for 29 years, they never had a CRTA because there wasn't, it just started. So now each housing authority is, can have one or they don't need to have one. It's not mandated. They're not saying you need to have one because there are other housing authorities that don't have any.
Yeah, that's right.
And
And that's a
many
shame
know that and
that
get
the
along
tenants
fine.
don't know that they should have rights. And-
They do
and-
have
If you read your lease when you sign it, you know what rights you have.
Yeah,
Linda,
but we're not saying
there
that
is-
we don't
I'm just
agree
saying,
with
if you
you
say
then.
about the
That's
rights.
not what we're saying.
In the
It's in the
past, if there's
lease.
been
And
an
what-
issue, somebody comes to me and says that
But
this is
personal
broken, this is
issues,
fixed,
we do
Dean
not
fixes
deal
it
with.
and
We
goes
only
back.
deal with the business part, that you have to understand that. We deal with bills and the regulations here, not anything to do with business. That Pamela has personal business that we can't discuss. I can't discuss that.
I'm not saying personal, but
Yeah.
the
but I know that
procedures
she-
we're talking about.
Yeah, so we can't discuss Pamela's personal business, especially
Yes,
not in
exactly.
public, and, you know, we're not gonna go there with that, anyway.
I just want to say something real quick. No, I think as far as association, they've done a wonderful job.
Yes,
think the
I agree.
barbecue and the grill and everything, and when Betty's not here, we have like small little things that we want done. They've done a very good job.
Mhm.
But, I mean, she's making a mockery of this place, and I don't think it's right, just like yesterday's meeting. If she has something to say to Betty, say it to Betty. She doesn't have to talk, belittle Betty and be so rude,
That's right.
when she's doing a good job for this.
There's a reason
This
why
place,
we
this-
haven't been able to get panel members.
That's what I mean.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
And if people have a problem and they wanna grieve, the grievance panel, they should be here. She doesn't have to speak for other people. If they have mouths, they should be here, not act like 2-year-olds,
That's true.
I agree, Deb.
or act like a child. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think they've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I was present at
And
the
she's not on-
meeting yesterday,
She's
and we
not on the
cut
panel
that
anymore.
off. We
Yeah.
cut that off. We
Well,
didn't
you weren't
want-
here for, yeah, but you weren't here for this whole meeting.
No, I'm saying, she
Yeah.
started it again?
And she, yes, all night, you have not been here and she
Oh
hasn't shut her
my
mouth,
God.
so.
Anyway, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay,
John, we
moving on.
certainly appreciate it, and Vinnie, we do too, appreciate you doing
What-
the hard work that you do. You know, we'll try and get this thing
I'm gonna
settled.
call Sharon on.
Well, we're gonna continue to do that, just so you know, Millie.
Yeah.
That we're gonna continue to, you know, enforce what the state regulations are and, you know, according to what our rights are, we're gonna try to work in that framework.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
we
I
don't have a
yeah,
problem
yeah,
with it.
but that's-
Okay.
That's not an issue.
Okay.
I think you've done wonderful things. I mean, I look at this patio out here, or whatever it's called, where you made that work, which I had some doubts about, but you
Yeah.
made it work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but like I said, you know, we haven't had this type of organization
Yeah.
here, and like Betty said, in a lot of other places, but
Well, you know, the thing is, I would hope that we could work in a spirit of cooperation versus an adversarial kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah,
Now, obviously,
Ridiculous.
you know, she has a bone to pick, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, the rest of it, let's see if we can work together.
I
That's really,
concur.
that's
Yeah, absolutely.
really what we would like to do. Okay.
That's what I've been saying all along.
Okay.
Now, is that done?
Was it-
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
The next thing is that the state wants to move forward with a no smoking policy.
Oh, dear.
Now, that is what we keep taking up so much time
Okay,
with all this other stuff with the grievance that we're not able to actually deal with the things that need to be dealt with.
okay.
Okay, and they want to move forward with no smoking
How many,
policy.
how many smokers do we
Well, we're gonna
have?
have, there's a procedure to it.
I can't.
There's a procedure to it.
You're one?
I was one, not anymore.
There's a procedure to it, yeah.
Hi, I'm having a problem because the lady downstairs, she smokes at all hours of the, I can't breathe. I've been to the doctor already 2 times with
Yeah.
chest pains. I can't take it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I have no,
That's,
and I'm
That's the next
happy.
step, it's gonna be, they
But
want it
it's
to be
affecting
that
my
there's no
health.
smoking.
And my apartment smells like cigarette. He has to walk. he wants to smoke, he has to go, he walks. But in the middle of the night, I'm choking, everybody says, who's smoking in here? I said, the lady downstairs.
Yeah, it goes
right
to the
So it's right up back through the
It's
night.
awful,
And I'm a smoker,
oh.
I usually go outside and put it.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna have to be. Like, there's a whole thing, and like, we haven't been able to deal with that,
Yeah.
with everything
Which
else
is
that's been
important
going on.
because of
This
people's
is
health.
important, but
John,
that's where
So
we're
we
gonna be
should-
going.
Well, we're,
There's,
so,
a bunch of steps
So
with it.
interesting is that.
Okay.
So hopefully by the next meeting, I'll be able to have all that
okay,
stuff
that's
together.
good.
Okay,
And we will move forward.
This, be moving forward with the no smoking policy, and even on the grounds, there will be no smoking on the
Can-
grounds.
can
It will
I-
have to be across the street
Can I
or
ask
something,
John?
and this is what the state is saying.
John,
Yes.
what do you have to say?
All right, well, on our agenda, not too many things.
Okay.
But we've got a petition going. As you may be aware, parking is an issue in our community. We, the undersigned, the tenants of Coach Road Apartments, would like to have assigned parking on the upper level parking lot. This guarantees that a parking space would always be available and accessible under all weather conditions, especially in clement weather. Now, I personally dug up one extra spot there. You know, 2 years ago, we had like 3 feet of snow. I would shovel myself out. I would go do my errands. Somebody would take my spot. So basically, what we're trying to do is avoid that. Maybe we won't have 6 feet of snow like we had 2 years ago. But a lot of people would prefer to have that assigned. And I'm willing to, and I've done a lot of things because I'm willing to just keep busy, just a can of yellow paint and a brush. And then, I had like 17 signatures already. The people just want to have it, so they can come in from work, there's their spot. And there is enough spot to make enough parking because legally you only need 8 feet and most of those spots are 10 feet and more. So you can reduce them, there's a lot of small cars, there's only really 2 big cars up there. So we're gonna get more signature, but everybody seems to want it, so I'm trying to convince you
The
to
thing is,
just go along with it, go ahead.
who would be enforcing it though? Say if you left, you shoveled, you left, and somebody came into your spot, who's gonna enforce it?
I'll enforce it.
We tried that route once before, and it's not gonna work.
What if somebody parked in your
But it
space,
has to
Linda?
do with courtesy.
What?
What if somebody parked in your space?
What if I'd find another spot?
Oh, you would?
I would.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
gonna
good
go
to
and
know.
approach
I'm
somebody.
personally
Oh,
But
I
it-
do, I put, I have put notes on people's cars before, but that's
And
my one
talking
thing I
about
live
the
here,
car that's been there for years.
But this,
All right,
To be
Yes,
honest,
Annie.
though,
But wouldn't you think that if it has an apartment number, a person won't, go into that spot as a sense of being respectful and courteous? Like, he went today and he swept all the acorns, because it doesn't matter who does it.
That's right.
It depends on us, we have to look out for each other. That's all. It's about, it's being a good neighbor.
that's exactly what it is.
And,
That's exactly
I
what
was
it is.
made aware of an incident, and I disagree with this person, and I guess she's not ever gonna talk to me, which, hey, that's the way, but we gotta be a very good neighbor, and I keep telling her that. If
That's
you're not a good
personal
neighbor, all you do is
responsibility.
complain. Show me, you're able-bodied, you pick up a room and you sweep the damn acorns. The hell with it.
Our
Right,
grounds
John.
person usually takes care of that. He's been there with the leaf blower, but he happens to be on
I know.
vacation.
Yeah.
So,
She was so angry, I said, what the hell? He's gonna tell you when he's going on vacation? Who are
No.
you?
you know what, too?
I don't like it, and nobody should ever be like him.
Well, thank you for taking personal responsibility.
Well, yes, I live here, I like living here.
Yes, and people need to take personal responsibility.
Exactly.
It shows that
Glad
you
you
take pride
Emily
in where
does,
you
yes.
live.
Exactly, those were my words also, and I also said that, yeah, I'm gonna sit down with you and we're gonna discuss the grounds policy, but as of now, she is violating as our grounds policy right now.
yes.
I signed the paper, I agreed to it, I asked if I need something, I will come to you and I have it. But as of now, you should not be putting anything on the wall. You are in violation. And hey,
There are other people that are in violation.
Anyway,
okay, then a lot of people are in violation.
Correct.
But it's the way you do it.
all right, coming back to the parking, Mildred, excuse me.
Okay,
On the regulation, the parking rules is all vehicle parked on the Upton Housing Authority property must have a current Massachusetts registration, valid inspection sticker, and be on file with the housing.
exactly,
All right, no unregistered, uninspected, or uninsured vehicle.
right.
There's a Volvo station wagon up there. Says some other people are complaining about it. It's been there 2 years. It's got flat tires. It's not registered.
Yes, really. Yes, really.
All right, I talked to David who owns it. He tells me that the ignition switch is not working. But
Throw it out.
Well, I spoke with
Correct.
him today.
I mean-
I spoke with him today about the car needs to be out of there again.
Yeah,
And he told me that he's doing his best to get the car out of there and hopefully by the 1st. But also, there are 2 people in this room here who have gotten new vehicles and haven't come to tell me that they've gotten different vehicles. See, when somebody gets a vehicle, they're supposed to let us know so that we can
Oh,
have
so
a
we
copy of
know,
the
yes.
registration, so that we know that there's an extra car up there.
yeah.
Okay, and this
Or a
happens
different
frequent, or a different car, and this happens frequently here too.
Well, tell
So, right,
No, it's,
yeah, but what I'm
not
saying
you,
is
Evie,
ignition
but in
switch is
order-
like that's
right,
what-
no, he's getting that
No,
out of
he's
here, we're
getting it
working
out
with
of
him
here.
on getting that out of here.
It
Because
was
I
done
need to
today.
fill 2 or more apartments here, and I'm quite sure the 2 people that are coming in are gonna have a car, so they're gonna need that spot. I'm working with him on this. But when somebody replaces a car with a different vehicle, they're supposed to come in and let us know that they no longer have the
Okay,
other
green truck
vehicle.
out there and they've gotten a new one.
Yeah, so
And
you'll
so
know
that we have the
that's-
information on file.
and that's
And that is-
logical.
That's
Right,
what that makes
right,
sense.
and that's.
I know it. I'll do it.
That's done.
Okay,
Also, we
But-
need to have, as far because of the handicap law, that handicap parking,
Me?
that is what's
Yeah,
making
my
it
car's brand new,
even
she
more
has all my stuff.
difficult to be able to
I
have
gave it to the
some.
day I got it, I'm not stupid.
And Karen has explained that when she,
how many do we have?
we have 24 parking spaces, we have 40 units.
I know that, I know that. How
Yeah, we
many?
have about 10 people that have handicap placards. So what actually happens is the 10 closest spots, if however many handicap people that you have or that have a placard, that's how many spots that we have to say are handicap accessible. So those are gonna be the closest ones. The other ones are for any other resident that lives here and they can park in there. Karen has explained the last time when we tried to do the policy over, that if they were assigned parking, say you have this spot and then all of a sudden a new person comes in that has a placard, well, they're gonna bump you out of that spot because now they have to have it because it's handicapped, it's closer, and it's gonna move over. So she said it would be a nightmare to try to enforce that kind of
Assigned
policy for assigned parking. If you had a parking lot that had 40 spaces with the 40 units,
No
well, then
problem.
that wouldn't be a problem. But because we only have the 24, she said that it just, I can totally
Excuse me,
understand
once-
why you would want assigned parking. I would want it too.
Yeah.
But I think I would get to the point like this, if I couldn't live with it, then maybe I might start looking someplace where there was plenty of
But
parking.
see, the people
There's
that are
nothing I
handicapped,
can do about
but the
it.
people that are handicapped, they're guaranteed their spots. The
That's-
people that are not handicapped.
And
they're
that's
not
right,
guaranteed
and
their
that's
spots.
right,
Yeah.
and that's
And then
true.
I shovel my spot out and I pay for it, and then I come back home and I already paid for my spot, and there's some people that live here are selfish and they just
Right.
go right to the
And that's
spot.
where common courtesy should come into
And
play,
it's-
that you
but
know
they
if you
don't care.
shoveled your spot, that
They
no
don't
one's
care.
gonna take it.
And they
Somebody
take it.
else should not take
If they
it.
do
Right.
They know
Yeah.
it.
But then,
I mean, last year I took a big bucket and filled it with water and put it right in.
Yeah.
I put it there, what was I gonna do?
People do it in Boston, right?
They do.
Yes,
They
yeah.
shovel it
have
out
to.
of this.
yeah,
Because in fear that I have to go shovel or have one of my kids come across town to do it
no, it's terrible.
in a storm, because somebody else
It's
is too
society
lazy to
in
shovel their
itself.
spot,
Well, that's common courtesy.
Yeah.
but they don't
Yeah.
have, they're too
Fortunately.
lazy to do it.
You know.
Minnie, did you want to?
Yes, there are 2 things. Again, one car's been up there for 2 years without a license, without a registration, and a thing, for 2 years.
We just
The
said
other
that.
thing is, I don't know if there are any tenants here that were here in the previous administration for director, Are there anybody here?
I was
Yes.
Did they have assigned parking then?
Yes, they
And
did.
how did it work, Denise?
It was fine, there was never any problem.
No,
So,
they didn't
But
have.
that
to.
might have
Yes,
been
they did,
assigned
I'm
parking.
sorry.
Me?
No.
If you
Barbara,
would like to.
but Barbara says that she didn't.
Mm.
But if they did, it might have been before the handicap parking laws had all come into effect.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, because,
This is what Barbara did. She said, if you had a medical issue, you got assigned a handicap parking spot or a spot that would help you out. But Barbara did not assign anybody a parking spot. She told me the same thing. Everyone, and you know this, everyone agreed. If that was Denise's parking spot, it was common courtesy that you wouldn't park in Denise's spot. That's how it went. Now it's totally different. You know, unfortunately, we have people here that really don't care. They'll park anywhere they want. And if you all agree, say, I'm gonna park here, and say, well, that's okay, and you agree among
Amongst
yourselves, that's a different thing. Otherwise, there's no assigned parking spots, and that's how Barbara explained it to me, Denise.
Barbara Bill.
the only thing the only problem with that is now, is when I sign a new person in, I tell them, there is no assigned parking here. You can park in any spot. If you are not handicapped, I'll tell them, if you don't have a handicap placard, I tell them, there is no assigned parking here, and you can park in any spot that's out there.
But if the
That if
tenant,
somebody comes knocking on your door in the middle of the night, like they have in the past, and say, you're in my parking spot, get out, tell them there is no assigned parking. So then they would have to get together with the new person coming in
yes,
and
And
set
work it
something
out.
up. But as far as I'm concerned, our policy says no assigned parking.
there isn't, yeah,
No, I knew that.
yeah. And
Ruth, excuse me, on the parking issue itself, between the Upton Housing Authority and the CRTA, there should be some conversation about what the parking policy is. That directly affects each and every tenant.
does.
And when
I agree.
things directly affect tenants, the Upton Housing and the CRTA should work together to decide that. So,
But when everybody comes in and signs a lease, everybody's given a copy of all the policies. So
We-
they know, and I go over this with them, and
Yeah.
I say, look it,
because,
I'm letting you know now,
but
that
Betty,
you can't come
yes.
in and sign the
Here's
paper
another thing.
and think
For-
that just
I-
because you're.
She's speaking.
Wait a second.
I-
Wait one minute.
Because, yeah, I know that, but
I totally reiterate this over and over again when somebody's signing a lease. Because I want them to truly understand the situation here. So, because it's not like, yeah, you're gonna agree because you want an apartment so bad, and then think you're gonna get in, and then all of a sudden change the policy. But I give them a copy of the policy all the time, and it says on there, no assigned parking. So no one here can say that they don't know that there's no assigned
and
parking.
my point, Betty, is this, that, yes, you've had a parking policy here, and now that the CRTA has been established, when it's,
Want to renegotiate.
yes, that's what the state laws call for, okay? So because there's all these laws, and there might be a difference with all the tenants that may want to have a different opinion, we should have at least some interaction, some back and forth with that.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. And for another point with the handicap, there were at least a couple, maybe 3 or 4 people with handicap placards. I can get one. I have serious medical issues that I can get a handicap, but I haven't done that, Ruth. And why? My mother was handicapped for a long time, and when I would pull into a handicapped place, to get my mother closer to doing shopping or whatever, somebody'd be there without a placard, okay? Now, I can get one, okay? But I choose not to get one, and I park because I'm still able to negotiate what I have to do right now, okay? But, you know, and so getting a handicap placard doesn't mean a lot.
Well, also on here, it says that there's no guest parking at the housing authority. Visitors, supportive service workers are prohibited from parking. But everybody violates that also too. So it's like, we can set all kinds of policies, it's getting people to actually
Well, they don't follow.
follow
They
through
don't
on
follow.
it.
Enforcement,
And how
yes,
can I enforce
absolutely,
a policy?
absolutely.
So
I can't
why-
even enforce it,
it's
so it's like a waste of time.
Fine, I just wanna get a candy yellow paint and a brush so I can rewrite, no, because they're fading away, I don't mind doing it, you know, and we'll just hold off and next month discuss it, but I think if we get like the majority signing off on signed parking, it's not costing anything. And also, if that parking lot I know is not owned by housing, and it's owned by Prime Oil Incorporation, I think, because they were so nice to give it to us, that housing maintenance should at least maintain it, because the sign is 6 feet in the bushes. The resident parking only is 6 feet in the bush. So I mean, I've been doing some work over the summer, and like I said, I made another spot. I don't mind because I need to use my hands, and I have shovel and stuff. But you know, that's kind of what we should do as a community. I see Claire pushing the acorn outside her apartment and Emily's. We all work together. I don't mind doing it.
It's regional one where you rake your own leaves.
Thank you.
Yeah, but anyway, one tree fell in the parking lot the other day, and Rich was nice enough, and he knows we don't own the lot there, so he's not even gonna do anything about it. His insurance covers it, because it fell on his roof, and it rolled on his trunk, and it broke his side view mirror.
And
But
the
if he
rubber
opens
tree.
that can of worms, then they're gonna say, we can't park here at all. But anyway, that's what I want, a can of paint and a brush, and I'll do it myself, it'll keep me busy. Because if they're like they're 10.5 feet apart,
Yeah,
that's too
it's
big.
only supposed to be 8.5 feet wide. So we could possibly get 2 more spots there, comfortably.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
What,
All right.
well, 8.5 is what the state says.
Hmm?
8.5 feet wide is what the state says.
I don't know, they came out here, I really think that that's kind of tabled right now, the parking situation as far as Boston goes.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
we
they're
don't cut no
kind
trees.
of, yeah.
Well, most cars are like 5.5, 6 feet wide, mine included, Donna's, I mean, a handful of, so, I mean, we
Or
don't.
are we gonna end up with another problem like we have down the lower section that was discussed yesterday?
which ones?
Which was one tenant, we have a parking spot that's right next to the tree.
Yeah.
And the tenant that parks next to her is upset because she can't get out and put her walker next to the car and get into her car, because that other car is parked there.
Too close.
And the whole thing was, there was a conversation, John, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, right.
that was it ever a parking spot?
There was not.
It was. It was.
Where the tree is?
Where the tree is, Elaine parked there, and there was somebody before her,
Karen.
and
was
Karen,
parking there, Yeah.
whenever she came and she didn't feel like parking up the top, she would park there.
Right now we have 6 spots, right? Counting,
Yes.
yeah, all right, well, if you can
And
make it.
it fits comfortably.
But I know they elderly need the open plane, the walker, but we can move everything a little, you could move your car 1 foot, everybody moves
I
their foot.
can't because of the trash, pickup.
1 foot?
1 foot is gonna make a difference. If you go out there and watch trash guy come in,
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well, it-
That's it, no more.
what are we doing here?
Even
still, I guess we're still
if
on
we
parking.
have 30 spaces out there, that will mean I can take in 30 people that have cars. So no matter what, we're
still gonna
still
show
gonna
it.
have a problem. It's still not gonna give us extra parking spaces for company, for
Maybe we could
family
build
the
a
tenants
temporary.
or somebody-
home health
PCAs.
days. It's not going to do that.
Where are they
If we
going?
get 30 spots, 32 spots, 40 spots, it's only gonna be for the residents that actually live there.
Right, yeah.
That's what it's gonna boil down to.
Well, what's the issue, right? The issue
is
that they have is they want,
signs
well,
parked.
yeah, he wants to first of all reconfigure the lot. Is that correct?
Make a couple more spaces, yeah, which is very easily
We do.
done
Can we do
on the top level.
we do have 2 2 or 3
Yeah.
that are empty.
And
And
you
when we
can.
get rid of,
Yes.
when we get rid
So
of
then
that
we'll be able
other
to bring 2
car.
or 3 more people in with the
Right,
car.
Right.
it could even
Yeah.
possibly
Yeah,
be
yeah.
4.
It's not gonna give anybody a wider
If
space
people will
and
park
everything.
straight into the parking spot
Exactly.
and not
And
come
be
flying.
careful
Well,
into the
that-
park side.
that's one of the other issues we had
How
too,
they park
is
Yes.
putting a post with the assigned number there.
Yeah. Well,
The sign number should be
You're
on the
trying.
ground.
That costs more money.
Well, it is, what do you do in the winter?
Huh?
What
You
happens
should
in the
know where
winter
your
though?
parking spot is.
Well, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
Yes,
So
you
then
should.
what happens though is, like, the attorney probably really should come out and do this whole thing with the parking
Well, obviously,
spaces
we
and
don't
that,
have to.
because she has said that with the handicap. We did this 2 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So
Well-
what do you wanna do?
Have her come out.
The only other question we have about the parking, we had one of the trees fall there,
Yeah,
it hit a car, the tree is still pretty much there.
yeah, because it's not our
not
property,
our
so we can't cut the tree.
The tree is down, Mary.
Came off the
Oh,
roof.
it's down.
It's down,
It's
it
down.
hit someone's roof, and it's down on the parking lot as we speak.
It's on the ground.
How big of a tree is this?
It's not big.
Oh,
There are a couple
It's
big
not-
sections to it.
yeah, so
But
somebody
it's-
could move the tree,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Well, yeah.
Well, we just wanna find out what the responsibility, that's all.
yeah.
You know, we want, we're
Would
looking
Dean
Not
do it?
our response, if it's not our property, I mean, I don't know,
Well,
maybe
if
Dean
it's-
could
if
go
the tree
over
is
there
there.
and talk to him, yeah, and see if it's something that they would be willing to let Dean
Take the
take
tree
it,
away.
take it down.
Yeah, if the guy.
I mean, it's not that we
She's
can't
gonna
saw it up,
check on it.
but nobody's,
The resident
nobody's,
himself hasn't come and said anything to me.
Right.
I only heard about it from other people talking, but he himself has not come
Oh,
to me and said
reported it.
anything to me.
Oh, all right.
So I don't know.
Well,
But,
she's gonna talk to
Whoever it is.
whoever it is
Yeah.
and see if they will allow them to move that
That
off
tree.
the.
I can go with somebody and just throw it in behind the bush, it's not that heavy. I mean, it's really
It's
just.
there's a couple
piece.
big
It's about
pieces.
this wide, it's not, this is about around, that's not that big.
Oh,
Why you
Yeah,
it
use
just
a
came
few
off.
able-bodied guys?
I talked to,
Get it out.
And I wish I could do it.
I'm sorry, I talked to Vincent with the tree warden, and
Yeah.
he said that really it's like
They won't.
their problem.
It's
Because
their problem?
Yeah, because
The tree warden
it's not state property.
right, yeah.
But I did mention some of the trees behind the C and D building that are dead, and he says he's gonna come and look at them, because it looks like one of these is gonna fall on one of us this winter.
Well, that is town.
I know, but
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's still theirs.
Well, some right
That's
now.
Prime Oil. Prime Oil Company owns 10 acres behind there.
Yeah, but
Right,
but we-
yeah.
Oh,
So that's private
We don't
property.
know.
The town has nothing to do with it, but because it's a concern and it's a cultural department company, he says he's gonna stop by
okay,
and take a look, because I said, what if one of these falls on one of the apartments?
okay.
We chose to initiate that, Ruth, because of the lack of water this summer. There are a number of trees in the back there that
Right.
could potentially fall on the houses.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Okay,
Hopefully not, otherwise we'll have an issue.
so we'll try and.
We'll have a real grievance.
Thank you, I think our business is done.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Do we clap now?
Yeah, you can all clap. Yeah. Okay, so our next meeting will be November
We
9th.
did it.
November what?
How about the
Nine.
toilet?
No.
That's okay.
Well,
They're
they're coming. Yeah.
About the what?
it went out to bid, they got bid on them, the toilets.
Oh,
That
and,
was one.
Next meeting.
And I've tried a number of times to try to get in touch with him about it, to find out if they sent to them the paperwork that they're supposed to, the lowest bidder. He did say he approved the lowest bidder. So then they would have supposed to help send out a packet, and in that packet, they would have to sign off the stuff out and send it back to me. I haven't gotten it back yet, so I'm wondering if the HPD actually sent it to them. I've called them a few times, and I heard, and I've left messages and stuff, and nothing's come back.
okay.
But
All right,
anyways.
any other issues?
No, I want to, like, what?
All right,
Oh, yeah.
I vote move that we adjourn.
Meeting's adjourned.